Slum guys, front snare 3 here. Let's hit it. Alright, that's a bunch of interesting stuff. Trying to prepare for some civil war.
You're in my very well.
My turn. There. Right. Keep that.
Okay.
I'll handle this. How pathetic.
Stay on guard and don't get cocky. Right. How about this?
My turn.
It's my turn. Here. This is it.
There.
My turn.
Very well.
It's my turn. Here.
What? Leave it to me.
Hang in there, everyone.
I don't
Thank
need
you
your
very
help.
Here we go. That's that. Let's keep moving.
Very well.
Here we
I
go.
will serve as your opponent.
There.
My turn. Now.
I'll help.
Try not to
Oh, don't worry.
overexert.
We're finally back. My feet are killing me.
No. Just about sundown. I guess that means our field study activities are done for today. And good for that, I'm exhausted. And I'm starving. Whoever that strange flying object was doesn't seem to have come anywhere near the main thoroughfare at least. Fuck you bitches. Fortunately not. The city wouldn't be this calm if it had. Yeah, it's probably long gone by now. We should head back to the hotel before it gets dark. There's a lot to put in our daily reports today after all. Indeed. We can figure out how to best summarize today's events over dinner. Lord Eustace, I assume you've, that's correct here. Thank you very much. Allow me to hand this over to Schwarzer then. Refusing to accept it will be rather rude, I suppose. Thank you very much. My apologies for our rudeness earlier. It's kind of amazing how their attitudes change for Eustace. Well, there's no denying his influence his family holds here. No, this was useless. Thank you so much for getting us these out. We'll be sure to use it tonight. We're going to the Station Street. That's father? Huh? What? I'm terribly sorry for not coming to greet you, father. Although I'm here but for a short time, I used to have returned to enough. As I informed Rufus, you may do as you wish while you're here. However, you will do nothing that brings shame upon myself, nor to operate a name. Please be ever mindful of your position and what you represent. Yes, father. Would it be so much to ask for you to introduce yourself to my class? I have no time for pleasantries. Should I require anything of you, you will be contacted. Wow, what a dick. What was all that about? It's not really. That was the almighty Duke Alberia, was it? The head of one of the 4 great houses and the man in charge of this entire province, indeed. By some strange twist of fate, my father as well. Useless. I've spoken out of turn, forget I said that. Today's workload has made me hungry. Shall we return to our rooms and find something to eat? That sounds good to me. I'm starving. At this point, Rean and the others returned to their rooms for a much-needed shower. Then after a short rest, they headed to a restaurant in the Central Palace for dinner.
The breeze here feels wonderful.
The food was delicious too.
Agreed.
I can see why this restaurant is popular with the nobles. Do you dine here often, Eustace?
I do. The chef has been good to me since I was a child. I was practically raised on this food.
How typical. Even in your dining habits, you nobles subsist on unnecessary luxury. Though I can't deny the quality of the food.
It wasn't just tasty, but warm too.
Yes, for a high-class restaurant, the chef seems to have used a lot of very healthy ingredients. Perhaps he's doing his part to ensure Eustace stays in good health.
I wouldn't doubt it.
I wonder what Group B is doing right now.
We had this exact same conversation in our group last month, too. I'm sure they're hard at work over in St. Arc. Probably nothing to worry about.
It was Celtic for you last month, right? So you were thinking of us on the first night?
Yeah. After dinner, we were wondering how Group B was getting on. Dare I ask?
Well...
Nowhere near as peacefully as now. This is a big improvement.
I kind of figured that much.
We are doing much better this time. That much is true.
Huh? And I'm sure our reports will reflect that.
It is an improvement, though I'm not convinced it's good enough.
It's not?
I'm certain Group B gave their absolute best in all of their tasks today. But can we honestly say the same? That we could have done no better? And I'm referring not just to the monster encounter, but to the handling of our other tasks as well.
We'll just have to try and make up for it in the day we have left. Besides, we had the chance to catch sight of a far bigger problem.
Yes, that's true.
First, we find out taxes are rising throughout the province. Then, we find out the military is being expanded on a grand scale. Don't even try to tell me the two aren't related.
I have no intention of denying it. But you're only looking at one side of the coin. Exactly how many Oxen tanks do you think the Imperial Army has under their control?
Well...
100 or 2, I'd guess.
Precisely. The Imperial Army's military capabilities are enormous. This nation has one of the most powerful armed forces on the continent, and roughly 70% of it is under the Chancellor's control. Tell me, how is the Noble Alliance supposed to counter that?
So you're suggesting that's why the Provincial Army needs to bolster its forces?
Considering both sides are comprised of Erebonians, it all seems so wasteful.
Ah, the travails of youth! How noble and beautiful they are!
It's you.
Baron Blue Blanc, I believe?
Ha ha! It's such an honor that you would remember a mere baron. I see you've completed a hard day's work already. How splendid!
Yes, nearly.
What about you?
Alas, I have yet to be blessed with the fateful encounter I seek. The search for beauty is filled with perils and obstacles, yet that is precisely what makes it all so beautiful.
Well, I hope you enjoy the rest of your stay.
I most certainly will. Though it truly is a pity that the clear air of this verdant city should be tinged, if but faintly, with the scent of steel. I'd heard that Duke Alberea was a man of many interests, but I was unaware he counted playing with fire among them. I don't condemn him for it, though, for only by playing with fire can one create fireworks. Would you not agree, my friends?
I don't like your implications.
And I think this whole line of conversation is a little inappropriate.
Oh, please do pardon me, young lady. I meant no harm, I assure you. I wish you well on your remaining day here. May you reveal to me the beauty I seek by its end. Be it the lovely luster of success or the sad splendor of failure.
Who does he think he is? This is why I can't stand nobles.
I thought you might say that. If it makes you feel better, though, I have my doubts as to whether that man truly is a noble to begin with.
What?
His behavior seems so exaggerated. Almost as if he's trying to act like the quintessential noble. Like he's fulfilling the stereotype.
Yeah, something about him feels off to me, too. But what's even stranger is that he knew we only have one day left here.
You're right.
We told him of our field study, but never once did we divulge how long we intended to remain here.
Between him and that silver object, we've been crossing paths with a lot of strange people today.
Well, tomorrow's the end of our stint here. We can't let ourselves get distracted. We still have a lot to do.
That's right. We have to do our group proud.
Exactly.
We should return to the hotel and begin work on our reports then.
Can't get to sleep?
I could ask you the same. You aren't going to tell me the bed's too hard for you, are you?
I wouldn't dream of it. I've never slept in a bed this high class in my life, not even back at home.
And yet you're the son of Baron Schwarzer. You've not lived the life one might expect of a boy from a noble family.
Yeah, that's just how my dad is. A lord should live like his people, not above them. That's how he always put it.
I see. It sounds as though you have a good family.
Yeah, I'm very thankful for my upbringing.
Aren't you going to ask? I assumed you'd be curious about that brief exchange with my father earlier.
I wasn't really sure you'd want me to bring that up. You obviously get along really well with your brother, but I didn't get that same sense with the Duke. Has he always been like that?
As far back as I can remember. I suppose he just has little respect for a son born to a commoner.
What?
My brother and I have different mothers. He was born of my father's legal wife, a noble who still lives to this day. My own mother, however, was a commoner, and she passed away 8 years ago. In other words, I am his bastard son.
I had no idea. So, was that chef we met earlier?
He's my uncle, on my mother's side. Perhaps that's why he's always been so good to me. Or perhaps he's simply compelled to treat me as I deserve to be treated, being the son of the Duke.
No, that can't be. I don't blame you for being a little cynical, but there's no need to be quite so hard on yourself.
I suppose you're right.
I'm sure you have your differences, but you do get along with your brother, right?
You could say that. He's treated me well ever since I was taken in 8 years ago. He was the one who taught me my swordsmanship, and who trained me in the ways of court etiquette.
I knew it.
Pardon?
There's just something honest, I guess you could say, about the way you fight. It shows that whoever taught you was someone you really trusted. When we first met him this afternoon, I had a hunch he might have been the one. What's wrong?
Nothing at all. You just keep reminding me how unlike a noble you truly are.
I get that a lot.
Is your injury from this afternoon on the mend?
It's fine, honestly. There's no pain, and the wound's closed up like it was never there. I'll have to be sure to thank Emma's grandmother for her help someday.
That's good to hear. Still, from where I stand, you are something of a danger to yourself.
I am?
On the day of the entrance ceremony, when the trapdoor opened beneath us, you acted instantly to protect Elisa. There wasn't even a moment's hesitation.
Ah.
In most cases, one would reflexively act to protect himself. It's part of man's natural survival instinct. Yet you put another before yourself, not even pausing to question the validity of that decision. And you did exactly the same thing with us today. I'm sure most people would see that as an act of selflessness and sing your praises for it. But to me, it comes across as abnormal, perhaps even twisted.
I don't know how to respond to that. I wasn't expecting you to see through me quite so clearly.
Well, I owed you as much for having seen through me first. Still, the point stands. You need to be more cognizant of the effects your actions have on those around you. If not for your health, then for your reputation. That selflessness of yours can just as easily be perceived as arrogance, after all.
I know it can. You're not the first person to tell me that. What's the point in saving others if you can't spare even a moment to save yourself? That's what my old master always used to say to me.
Was it now? I suppose we both have some things we need to work through.
Yeah, but for now, we need to get a good night's sleep. If we stay up too late tonight, we're going to be dead to the world tomorrow, and that wouldn't be fair to the others.
I agree, wouldn't be fair. To the girls, at least. I'd hate to be so tired as to limit my potential.
Hear, hear. Good night, Eustace.
Pleasant dreams.
That was a great talk. Shit. I didn't know that about all that about Eustace. It endears me to him even more.
Drinks are on me someday.
Here's an envelope Lord Rufus entrusted me. Please take it and study its contents well. Thank you, much appreciated. If you'll see me then, you should require anything further, please do not hesitate, let me know. Alright, let's see what my brother's gonna say. It's the Town of Ancients. Another well-balanced Orman, you know. I wouldn't be surprised if Rufus had predicted what happened yesterday from the very start. They're saying he tends to give us a first-hand look at the problems between the nobles and commoners. And that's true. I'm impressed. His reputation is well-earned. Sure does seem that way. I believe that's enough talk about my brother. We have only one day left before we must depart on our return voyage to Trista, which you set out as
Eustace Alberea.
What is it, Machius Regnitz?
I will accept no more failures. Today, we will form a combat link.
What?
As much as I may dislike you, I'm ashamed that we were unable to do what every other member of our class has accomplished. Today's monster extermination request seems as good a chance as any to make up for yesterday's failure. Wouldn't you say?
You really are simple-minded, aren't you? I suppose you overheard our conversation last night and feel some kind of affinity toward me now?
Nonsense! I did no such thing! I was fast asleep while you yammered on about your family and Rean and...
Machius.
That's pretty conclusive.
Very well. I accept. I'll be happy to show you what a proper combat link looks like.
We'll see about that. Fortunately, I have more than enough generosity of spirit to endure being paired with an arrogant noble like you.
Maybe today's field study will go more smoothly than yesterday's after all.
Lord Eustace.
Arno? What brings you here? I would have expected you to be at my father's side.
I'm terribly sorry I could not greet you upon your arrival yesterday. However, I have come today in the capacity of an escort.
An escort? To where? I'm sure you must be aware that I returned to Bereahard purely as part of a field study for my academy work.
But of course, however, His Grace has directly requested that I escort you to the mansion. So I would be most appreciative if you'd accompany me without delay.
Father? He showed no signs of desiring my company when we spoke yesterday.
I am in no position to question or oppose his orders, merely to obey them. I'm sure you understand. Though while I hesitate to speculate, I do wonder if His Grace may feel some regret regarding his demeanor yesterday.
But...
Go with him. We can attempt to form a combat link another time.
We'll be able to handle the morning's tasks just fine on our own. Don't worry about us.
Huh. You've come all the way back to your hometown. It would be a shame not to visit with your family, right?
Agreed.
Are you certain? Very well. I'll return this afternoon. And though I will worry as to how you'll fare without me, I know you'll at least give it your best, for what that's worth.
Of course we will.
All right, let's meet back in the hotel lobby around noon. If something comes up, just leave a message at the front desk.
Understood. Lead the way, Arno.
Gladly, sir. Please excuse us.
Well, let's get started. We wouldn't want to give Eustace any further reason to worry, now would we?
Huh, certainly not. Still...
What? What is it? If you have something to say, just say it.
Oh, it's nothing. Nothing at all.
She's probably thinking, the worst is over, and it's all thanks to your eavesdropping.
Good boy.
Just stop that! Just stop looking at me like I'm some hapless babe! Rean, you do know I still haven't completely forgiven you for lying, don't you?
Are you still hung up on that?
And Emma, I hope you're ready to score second on our midterms because I'm not about to lose to you again. But don't even think about giving those exams any less than your very best. I intend to best you when you're in top form.
You will?
And as for you, Fee, I've been wanting to say this for a long time now. Sleeping in class is an affront to our education. You need to start treating classes more seriously. Listen, take proper notes. Raise your hand now and then. And stop covering your ears when I'm talking to you.
I can't hear you.
Anyway, we've got a lot to do, so how about we get to it?
Right.
Oh, this is interesting. My mom wants to come to heat. I'm gonna go with my mom. All right.
Right.
A lot of interesting stuff. I'm planning on reading this book to Ravi since father, but he won't be reading anymore because there's a scary part in it. Well, we won't be using it anymore, so perhaps you might like it instead. Okay. Can't show him, he's too young. I'll read Red Moon Rose. Farewell. So this is the culprit behind the vampire emergence day. Gerard appeared at the sketch where I was drawn down the morning after Alphonse Rose had fought the vampire. He had made sure to report that fact to Gerard. The sketch Gerard was studying had been outlined based on Alphonse's testimony. It depicted a figure dressed all in black with the upper face obscured. The portrait showed everything Alphonse could recall of the vampire's distinguishing features, and he hoped that it would be helpful to the arm's investigations. Naturally, he had left out the suspect was actually a vampire and capable of turning itself into black smoke on a whim. Having his comrade officer deem him crazy would help no one. The purpose of the sketch was simply to help people watch out for the culprit, not to try and convince them of its true nature after all. He did wish he could tell them the complete truth, if only to better prepare them for a potential encounter against a monster and help them more effectively hunt it. But he knew better than anyone that no ordinary human would be able to stand up to it. He had learned that much firsthand the previous night. Trying to fight the vampire would only lead to unnecessary fatalities, and organizing large teams to try and exterminate it could even lead to it hiding itself away or worse, fleeing the capital and going elsewhere. As such, the best chance to defeat it once and for all seemed to lie with Rose. Gerard strained and fixed Alphonse with a concerned eye. Anyway, Al, I'm just glad that you and Luca are both alright. Then he let out a relieved sigh, as if that generally was the most important thing to him. The description portrait of the black-clad man would be used to encourage people to be more vigilant and watch out for the culprit. If the number of people going out at night were to decrease, the number of murders would likely decrease too. Gerard tried to advance Alphonse the rest of the day, not least because he had been injured the previous night, but Alphonse had no point of listening. He and Rose had already decided to meet up and investigate further. He insisted. Gerard's brows ascended once again at that. His parting words as Alphonse left his office were simply, just don't do anything, put yourself in unnecessary danger, alright? While he was usually strict as a superior, it was obvious that he genuinely cared for him like a real son. A fact that Alphonse couldn't possibly be any more grateful for. Feeling newly motivated, he quietly muttered to himself, I will stop these murders, as he walked toward the exit of the guardhouse. Just before he could set off his meeting with Rose, however, he encountered his fellow soldier Elroy. The other man looked as glum as ever. Judging by his appearance, he had just finished the morning's training. Beads of sweat ran down his face, and his hair was matted to his forehead. Despite this, he didn't seem the slightest out of breath. Elroy had always been that way. Though he never seemed to train more than Alphonse and other members, he always seemed significantly stronger and more capable than any of them. He was well aware of this fact too, and seemed to have developed a sense of superiority because of it. Looking down his nose at the others was Elroy's signature move. Today seemed no different. He turned to Alphonse with a mock smile on his face. So, you ran into the culprit behind those so-called vampire murders, did you? Yeah, I did. Elroy gave a contemptuous snort. Well, you're useless then, aren't you? Why didn't you catch him? This would have all been over if you had. As usual, Elroy wasted no time in trying to pick a fight with Alphonse, but this time he had no comeback. Elroy was right. If he hadn't been so weak, he would have been able to defeat the vampire and stop the murders the previous night. Seeing Alphonse's reaction to his provocation, Elroy folded his arms triumphantly. The commander might favor you, but I think it's about time you stopped letting that get to your head and learned your place. Alphonse was about to retort when he noticed something. Elroy's left arm was wrapped tightly in several layers of bandages. What happened to your arm? Alphonse pointed to the bandages with his finger, and for a moment, Elroy seemed unsure how to respond. It's nothing. I just heard it in training earlier. Plus, the blood peeked through the bandages, making it clear that it was a recent injury, at the very least. Alphonse looked at the damage with concern. This is why I can't stand you. Apparently thrown off by his teammates' worry, Elroy gave an audible tut before walking away, leaving a slightly embarrassed Alphonse behind. While they were hardly on the best terms, Alphonse didn't bear any particular grudge against Elroy. It was clear that the same couldn't be said for the other man, but Alphonse had no idea what he had against him. Laying outside, he returned his thoughts to the investigation at hand. Now wasn't the time to be thinking about Elroy. He had to focus. With a shake of the head, he opened the guardhouse door and set out to meet Rose. They had decided to continue their search where they left off, so it was at the scene of the fourth murder that Alphonse met Rose. Despite scouring the area as thoroughly as they could, however, they found nothing that would help them identify the criminal. Eventually, Rose stopped to think for a while before proposing that they make their way to the street where they had encountered the vampire the previous night and search the scene there. Alphonse agreed. It seemed like a quite different place during the day. The still quiet had marked the night had been replaced with cheerful chatter and a bustling of people examining the wares of the street stalls. Since the murders were known to happen at night, people seemed happy to go about their ordinary lives during the day without a worry in the world. Taking care to avoid standing out too much, they walked side by side around the street looking for potential leads. It's hard to believe that we fought a vampire here last night. Rose's lips curled up slightly. Most would find it difficult enough to believe that vampires exist to begin with. I suppose that makes the existence of people like me who live to hunt those vampires more unbelievable still. Was that man's a joke? Alphonse wondered. Unsure how to respond, he elected to remain silent. Unfazed, Rose said about analyzing the previous night's events. The scent given off by that vampire was the same as the one I sensed from all the other victims. At the very least, it seemed beyond a doubt that the vampire is a killer we've been searching for. His scent, Alphonse asked before recalling that Rose had mentioned something similar earlier when they were trying to pursue the vampire the previous night. So if you follow that scent, we can find out who the vampire is. Rose shook her head. I'm afraid not. As I said before, vampires are only capable of using their powers at night. During the day, they're no different than ordinary humans. And according to the scent, that gives them away as being vampires vanishes as well. If they both do that, ideally the best way to defeat the vampire would be to strike during the day while it was unable to activate its powers. But finding clues as to the vampire's identity, they didn't have any chance of doing so. Realizing anew just how difficult the work of a vampire hunter must be, Alphonse admired Rose all the more for being able to cope with it. Nonetheless, we made contact with the vampire yesterday, and I believe that's a big step forward for this investigation. After all, the more fierce the battle, the greater chance that one of the participants may leave behind some incriminating evidence. There's always the possibility that she may have seen something too. Alphonse assumed that she was referring to Luca. He made to reply, but Rose was no longer alongside him. Turning around, he realized that she had stopped in her tracks some distance behind. Her face was as expressionless as ever. Her eyes were cast downwards, almost as if she was regretting something. What's wrong? It's nothing, she said briskly and moved on. We should continue our search. They set about combing the street for any remnants of their battle. At one point, Rose suggested that they split up to cover a wider area. But even after doing so and reconvening to discuss their findings, or lack thereof, they found themselves no closer to pinpointing the vampire's true identity than they were the previous day. The hour had grown late and the sun was beginning its slow descent in the sky. The warm glow of its fading rays deepened the red hue of the bricks even as the shadows cast by their sturdy walls lengthened. Alphonse ground his teeth in frustration. All this searching and not a single result. Damn it. Rose had said that the vampire's power had been increasing over time. The previous night's battle had shown that she was capable of competing with it for now. And it was that fact that had allowed them to save Luca. But there was no guarantee that would always be the case. If it continued to claim more victims to grow stronger, seeing Alphonse's vexation over their lack of progress, Rose spoke. Nothing will come from being too hasty. We each have our tasks. All we need to do is complete them. He nodded, knowing full well that she was right. But it was hard not to feel bitter about their lack of headway all the same. As he needed to go and report the results of the day's investigation to Gerard, they agreed to part ways for the time being. Alphonse proposed that they meet again at the tavern. Like they had the previous day, but Rose refused his offer. I'm afraid I've been so much attended to with the church. Oh, okay. I was really hoping we'd be able to patrol and keep an eye out for the vampire again. Though since you're the only one who can sense its presence, considering what had happened the previous night, the increasing occurrence of the murders, remained vigilant for the vampire was of utmost priority, or at least that was Alphonse's thought on the matter. Rose didn't react to the disappointment in his trailing words. Instead, she merely replied that she'd watch out for it alone before excusing herself with a solemn farewell. There was a pause in which it seemed as if she wanted to say something else, but then she sighed deeply and disappeared from his sight. Alphonse watched her go with an uneasy feeling in his gut. Something seemed off about her behavior, unable to work out what it was. However, he was left with no choice but to watch her walking away into the distance. That night, Alphonse made his way to the tavern after giving his support to Gerard. Rose may have refused his offer to meet there, but he still wanted to look in on Luca after what had happened to her the previous day. Oh, hello, Alfie. Luca was quick to spot him, and she showed him to a seat at an empty counter. After squaring his earlier bill from the dinner with Rose and with the tavern owner, Luca excitedly came over to take his order. Seeing her smile and chatter as energetically as ever, Alphonse felt relieved. He had been expecting and fearing a more subdued demeanor from her. Watching her, he couldn't help but think how close she had come to losing her alive, and for a vague reason like feeding a vampire. Just a thought made his blood boil. Alfie, are you okay? Her nervous question made him realize that his anger must be showing in his expression. He quickly put on an awkward smile and set about eating to avoid having to explain anything. After a few bites, he felt himself calming down and gave her a more genuine smile. I'm fine, honestly, but never mind me. You haven't managed to recall anything about what happened last night, have you? She shook her head. Sorry, I wish I could, but I can't remember, I think. He hadn't really expected her to, but he was still slightly disappointed to not be able to gather any new information. Rose had speculated that the shock of seeing the vampire had caused her to subconsciously block out any memory of what had happened. As such, it didn't seem particularly likely that she would be able to help them find out the identity of the vampire either, he sighed. Luca, meanwhile, was desperately trying to remember anything that would allow her to be of service to him. After mulling over it for a time, she suddenly let out an ah sound. Oh, okay. It doesn't directly relate to what happened yesterday, but the person was here earlier on her own too. Alphonse was momentarily puzzled. Who do you mean? Luca prompted with a squish of her hair. The girl you were with yesterday. It suddenly dawned on him who Luca was referring to. But Rose had specifically told him that she wouldn't be coming to the tavern today because she was at visiting the church. A troubled feeling began to build in the pit of his stomach. Anyway, she just came and asked me a few things about yesterday. I couldn't remember anything when she asked either, but eventually she seemed satisfied and just said farewell and left. Farewell. The moment Alphonse heard those words, it dawned on him. Every time he parted ways with Rose, she always left with a farewell for now, but not today. When they separated earlier, she had simply said farewell. He had thought something seemed off about her at the time, and it was then that he realized that was the reason. After that, she must have come to the tavern where she was able to discover something from Luca. But if that were the case, what would she try to do next? Alphonse fairly jumped out of his seat, half of the food still on his plate, and dumped enough mirror to pay for the meal hurriedly onto the table. Al? Luca goggled at him. Just keep the change. It was his second feeling of a great foreboding in 2 days, and at first had been downright deadly. He rushed out of the tavern as fast as his legs would carry him onto the streets of Heimdall. The sun had long since set, and the deeply shadowed streets welcomed him into their murky depths. I think Alphonse Pierre is the vampire. Not Luca. What was the guy's name was? It wasn't Gerard. Yeah. What was the guy's name? Elroy. I think it's Elroy. Yeah, it's Elroy. It's fucking Elroy. Yeah, it's Elroy. I had a sneezing, quite a sneezing attack yesterday. I took some cold silver this morning and it definitely helped a lot. Tablespoon, right?
Stay on guard and don't
turn.
get cocky.
Leave it to me.
Keep that. Here we go. There.
Okay. Now! Okay. Target's eliminated. Let's get go.
Stay on guard and
I'll
don't get
handle
cocky. Go.
Okay.
Leave it to me.
Okay. Hostiles neutralized.
Oh, you know.
Hostiles. Okay. Here.
My turn. There. Now's a chance. Gotcha.
It's my turn.
I'm not.
Gleaming glove.
Right.
That was just awful, man.
Keep that.
I'll handle it.
Here we go. Now's a
No, I
chance.
didn't like it.
Gotcha.
Leave it to me.
How about this? Go. Gotcha.
My turn.
Yeah.
Go. Sit.
My turn.
Okay.
Go.
Here.
My turn. Sit. Okay. It's safe for now.
Oh, this is oral 4. Wait, how did I end up here? Why do these things keep happening to me? Does something matter? Oh, you're my Messiah by Ado saving, aren't you? I'm not quite sure how you reached that conclusion. You don't seem part of the Prince of Armor, are you? What are you doing here? I'm lost, completely lost. I'll be fine, though. No worries. Trevor Pavlik outlook for someone who's completely lost. Who is he? Just talking to this man is making my head hurt. Well, at times like this, it's positive. It just seems logical to stay and stay positive no matter what. I think I may have reached my limit at the end, however. Well, that's unfortunate. How did you end up here to begin with? Well, I'll have to tell you, but fair warning, it's a truly moving tale of hardship. Well, I hope you've got some boxes of tissue handy. Shall I begin? I think we'll pass. Oh, come on. Is there a short version? Fine. Well, I'll tell you. Actually, to tell you the truth, there's not really much to say. I wandered out on the highway for a bit of a change of pace and having to spot a rare butterfly, so I chased after it. And suddenly I found myself halfway around the canyon surrounded by monsters. I ran, barely seemed right, ended up here. The end. I see. It's like quite a predicament. As always, as where as this guy is, I don't think we can just leave him here like this in all good conscience. If you like, well, you wouldn't send you back to Barrelheart. Really? Oh, you would? Thank you. You're just nice people. I wish those dancing Prince of Army soldiers were more like you. Something happened. I went over to ask them one of them experiment and they just said if I made my way here, I could make myself back the same way. Some people are just so cold, aren't they? I guess I shouldn't tell them. I was thinking the same thing. I believe we all were. It looks as though the goddess hasn't abandoned me after all, though. Not if she was kind enough to send me your way. Shall we go? Of course, we are. Here we go. Nope. Yep, good.
Right.
I wonder what will happen if I put him in my party.
Here they come.
Go.
Be careful, everyone.
There.
Leave it to me.
How about this? Now. Gotcha.
It's my turn. Gleaming glove. Now.
My turn. Here.
Go. There.
He's like, okay.
Here.
It's my turn. Eat that.
Yeah.
Go! Go! Gotcha!
I'll handle it.
Leave it to me. Eat that. That takes care of them.
You're... Hold up, please. Would you mind giving me a moment? Not a problem. Are your legs getting tired? No, that's not it. I was just gazing back beneath this bridge and I thought this might be a good opportunity to calm myself down a bit. What are you going to do? You just let me worry about that. It'll only take a moment, I promise. I might make a bit of noise though, so don't please panic. I see. What's the plan on doing? All right then. Whoa, how far out did I go? And I must not let that scare me. Perish, I thought. Deep breath. I hate anniversary festivals. Oh, farewell, my youth. It was much better. So to be off then. That must hear you when you say you were going to calm yourself down. I think that's the best thing to do right now. It's probably just pretend none of this ever happened. Oh.
Ha! Enemy sight! My turn! There!
Yeah. Gleaming go.
My turn.
Right!
Okay. Hostiles neutralized.
Bring it on!
My turn.
Target lock.
My turn! There!
Yeah. Gleaming go.
Leave it to me. All right, let's keep moving.
Hostiles. Okay.
Got it. I'll help.
My turn!
Okay.
Right. Eat that.
I'll handle it. Done. But we can't.
Yeah. I mean, I actually made it back alive. Thank you so much for this. You're welcome. I really have no idea how to make this up to you all. Oh, if it isn't Ricky. May come, let me introduce you to my good friend Ricky. Hey, Anton, you sure took your time. I can't believe what happened to me. But as tragic as my story is, I made it back here all thanks to these guys here. Right, I think I get what happened. Something terrible happened shortly after you left town, at which point these people came along and helped you. I do understand, well, buddy. This doesn't seem like this seems like normal either, huh? You say birds of feather flock together. I'm more amazed at the fact that they both seem completely calm despite all that's happening. It's kind of funny to watch, though. You guys really are a bunch of good Samaritans, are you? Let me thank you as well. It takes some real guts to stick with him the whole way. You guys really are my savior. Allow me to give you this. It's really popular over in Crossville. Thank you. I assume both of you are dinner traveling together. Did you come from Crossville? No, we're from Libero. We're just staying in Crossville for a while as part of our trip. Yeah, we've both been traveling for a few months now. We only got here about a week ago. Now we're planning on making our way to a new destination. Right. So you'll consider me resuming joining the Airborne? Yep, that's the idea. But that's not all. One day I will find my true self after all this traveling. Or so he says, but he's almost out of money to actually do any traveling. He'll have to prioritize searching for a job over searching for himself soon. Well, that's true, but... Or these actually two friends. Anyway, thanks so much for all your help. We'll catch you later. Yeah. Okay. Well, guys, all for this one here. Breast in the Air 3 out. Peace. We'll see you then. We'll see you later. Bye-bye.